न भूमिर्न तोयं न तेजो न वायुः न खं नेन्द्रियं वा न तेषां समूहः अनैकान्तिकत्वात् सुषुप्त्येकसिद्धः तदेको वशिष्ठः शिवः केवलोऽहम् तदेको वशिष्ठः शिवः केवलोऽहम्।
नमः परमर्षिभ्यो नमः परमर्षिभ्यः हरिः ओम्। अघविदलनदक्षा सान्द्रसायुज्यभूमिः कृततनुजसुधाः बोधनेत्रा पराख्याम् अगजनितसुनार्या गाढम् आलिङ्गिताङ्गा जयति हृदयकञ्चे कापि कारुण्यमूर्तिः। अहमिति हृदि नित्यं भासमाना समानां सुमशरहरनेत्रा सत्कृपापूर्णपात्रां विमलमृगकळङ्कं धार्यमाणा च मौलौ जयति हृदयकञ्जे कापि कारुण्यमूर्तिः। वटविटपि समीपे शान्तपद्मासनस्थां कलुषहरणदीक्षां स्यन्दमाना च मौनम् अमरगुरुसुतान् आत्मतत्त्वं दिशन्ती जयति हृदयकञ्जे कापि कारुण्यमूर्तिः। रहसि तमसि नित्यं सोऽहमस्मीति वेद्यां विगतविषयबाह्या संविदेका विशोकां सकलमृगनराद्दीः वेद्यमाना चिदाख्यां जयति हृदयकञ्जे कापि कारुण्यमूर्तिः। सकलकर्णलीने वेद्यमाना सुषुप्तौ अहमिह सुखमासं शोकमासीन्नमेति सकलजनसुवेद्या शाङ्करी वृत्तिराद्यां जयति हृदयकञ्जे कापि कारुण्यमूर्तिः। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानामालयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करम्। यत्कृपालेशमात्रेण स्वानुभूतिसमुज्ज्वलां तमीडेऽहं सदा शुद्धं रमणेशमहेश्वरम्। देहं मृण्मयवज्जडात्मकम् अहं बुद्धिर्न तस्यास्त्यतो नाहं तत्तदभावसुप्तिसमये सिद्धात्मसद्भावतः। कोऽहं भावयुतः कुतो वरधिया दृष्ट्वात्मनिष्ठात्मनां सोऽहं स्फूर्तितया अरुणाचलशिवः पूर्णो विभाति स्वयं। योऽन्तः प्रविश्य मम वाचमिमां प्रसुप्तां सञ्जीवयत्यखिलशक्तिधरस्वधाम्नाम् अन्यांश हस्तचरणश्रवणत्वगादीन् प्राणान्नमो भगवते पुरुषाय तुभ्यम्। In this Jnana Kshetra, as the Swadhyaya Jnana Yajna of Chaturmasya Vratam, we are continuing Sri Sankaracharya's life and teachings. Now we are in a chapter where Sankaracharya is in Tamil Nadu. Soon he will come to Tiruvannamalai. So, now the place is Madhyarjuna Kshetram. Madhyarjunenasti Sharira Bandhaha. This is all Mahatmya. So it's a Shiva Bhakti Kshetra where about 100 years back a great devotee lived, Sridhara Ayyavāl, who propagated the Nama Siddhanta. There were two saints. One was Sridhara Ayyavāl, the other was Namabodhendra Saraswati Swami, who was one of the Shankaracharyas in the Kanchi Kamakoti Peetham. Although he is Advaita Acharya, for the sake of all, because common people, they need something to hold, some bhakti to hold, something to catch hold. Vidyaranya Swami calls it a Samvadi Brahma, beneficial delusion. Although it is also ultimately transcended, something you need to hold outwardly. The truth should be, of course, realized in your heart, in yourself, but you need something to hold. Some kshetra, some devata, some nama, some upasana paddhati, all these things help the bhakta to attain the highest bhakti and thereby jnanam. So, see, when people come to Ramanashramam, first they come after reading Bhagavan's teaching like who am I, they want to meditate. Then slowly they start going around the hill. Some then Parayanam, then Prasadam. See, always you cannot stay in Sari Gama Pada Ni. You have to come down. Avarohanam. So when you come down, then also you need some pastures where you don't fall to the worldly level. So you at least, like as we usually say, you enter a temple. Even yesterday somebody told me, we go to Arunachaleshwara temple, worship the Kambatalenar and come back. Otherwise you enter the queue, 6 hours or 7 hours imprisonment. So at least in the outermost prakara, you should be able to stay. If not, in the inner Shri Kovil. So somewhere you worship the Lord. Like that, you should be able to do bhakti with Nama Rupa Puja, Nama Japa, and like that you have to grow. So Namabodhendra Saraswati Swami wrote many books on Nama Japa, the Mahima, glory of Bhagavan Nama. So his adhisthana, his samadhi is there in Kumbakonam. Govindapura, that is the place. So nearby is this Sridhara Ayyavāl. They all were of the same time. They were there. So he propagated the Shiva Nama and Bodhendra Swami propagated Ramanama. So this Sridhara Ayyavāl lived in Tiruvannamarudur, Madhyarjuna Kshetra. A very huge old temple where Ishvara, Madhyarjuna, Shiva, Mahalinga Swami. So there Acharya is staying there. Acharya has written many Shiva Bhakti Stotras. In fact, many people think that Acharya is a Shaivite, because later on we get the picture of Sankaracharya like this, with Bhasma, with Rudraksha, etc. But we do not have any authority that he was only like this. Because he never speaks anywhere about Rudraksha or anything. Even about Danda he never speaks. But somewhere traditionally it has come like that. So we have that picture in our heart, in our mind. But Bhagavad-pada has written Bhakti Stotras on Shiva, on Vishnu, on Devi, on Vinayaka, everything. So this is Antashakto Bahishaivaha Vyavaharetu Vaishnavaha. They will say he is all. There is a special bhava in each verses. But Shiva Bhakti has written so many verses. Shiva means the most auspicious one, Mangala Swarupa. So in Vishnu Bhakti, right from Bhaja Govindam, Govindashtakam, so many works are there. Shiva Bhakti also, Shivananda Lahari, about 100 verses, very beautiful, very profound. And Apradh Kshamapan Stotra, which it is very good that people learn that by heart and chant it every day, where the devotee is telling Lord that I have done an aparadha. Something wrong I have done. Please grant me forgiveness for my fault. What is the fault? The first fault is I entered the womb of my mother without escaping in my last birth. Failed and again came to the same class. Adau karma prasangat. Due to former birth karma and continuation of that karma, as a continuation of it, kalayati kalusham matrukukshau sthitam mam. I entered the matrukukshi, the womb of my mother. Was it very comfortable there? No. Vinmutra amedhya madhye katayati nitaram jatharo jatavedaha. There it is all very, very dirty, fecal, filth, urine, blood, everything was around. Now we say, oh, dirty, dirty, dirty. Inside, full of dirty, no municipality cleaner will come there. 9 months lying there. Kvathayati nitaram jatharo jata vedaha. The inner fire, the gastric fire or whatever it is, intestinal fire, which the Ayurveda says, it gives so much heat inside. At that time we did not know. Now, if somebody reveals to you that Garbhavasa Kala, we say, oh Shiva, Shiva. Again entering that, no comfort there. So, Shiva, Shiva, Shiva Bho Kshantavyo me aparadha. Shiva, Shiva, Shiva Bho Shri Mahadeva Shambho. Yadyadvai tatra dukkham yatayati nitaram shakyate kena vaktum. Who can tell what kind of suffering one had there? And after birth, always quack, 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 quack. And lying in urine and fecal matter, everything. The same thing. Balye dukkadi rekat malalulita vapuhu stanyapane pipasuhu. Again, asking for mother's milk, screaming aloud, wallowing in filth with the senses still feeble. No shaktasya indriyebhyo bhava jala janita jantavo mam tudanti. Nana rogadi dukkhad. Various kind of infant diseases come. So now we have the vaccination. That itself is a problem. So formerly one thing or the other will come to the Balarishta, they say. Shankaram nasmarami, I could not recollect the Lord, Bhagavad Nama, I cannot chant. This is not to despise the childhood or Garbhavasa Kala. This is for us now to think. Because at that time I did not do the recollection, I did not do Bhakti Bhagavane. Shankaram nasmarami. So that is one aparadha. Kshantavyo me aparadha. Shiva 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 Bho Shri Mahadeva Shambhu. In the youth, very arrogant. Will not listen to anybody. Praudhoham yavanastaha. The way he walks. Cynical about everything. What is japa? What is bhakti? Nonsense. The first thing that they know is their father, mother, grandfather are all fools. For the first time, some intelligent person has come to the world. That is the enlightenment of a youth. So, praudhoham yavanastaha vishaya vishadharaihi panjabhir marmasandhau dashtaha. All the sensory apertures are being bitten by the snake of ignorance. Marmasandhi. What can we say about marma? Something very important, something very sensitive places. So, I was a fool, Bhagavan, a stupid fool and dull. Shaivi chinta vihinam mama hridayamaho suta dhana yuvati swadda saukye nishanna. Don't care about anything. And got married without telling father or mother. And now happy life, enjoy. Went away. After that started this grinder work. They thought now the poetry will start. Because now we have got married. They thought life will be full of honey. So honeymoon. After that, what they thought as honey was all chili powder. Both same color. Put and mix it. All same color. Then all the trouble started happening. Suta dhana yuvati swada saukye nishanna. Somebody tells him, think about Shiva, chant his nama. Shaivi chinta vivihinam mama hridayamaho mana garvadhirudham. So much of I going with these people with all this basma and doing giri pradakshina. No. I am an educated person. Educated. Managarvadhirudaha Kshandavyo me aparadhaha. Bhagavane, He Mahadeva, mercifully give me forgiveness, O Lord. I did not do japa. I did not do dhyana. I did not worship you. At least old age. The person is retired. No work. Nobody cares about him. Vartam pruchati kopi na gehe. Even in the house, nobody inquires whether he is alive. At least in this stage. Not able to see the television. Eyes are not clear. Not able to hear anything with others speak. Still gang. In that stage at least, do japa. Do some bhakti. Vardhakyecha indriyanam vikala gatimatihi. It is good if one contemplates on Lord Shiva, at least in old age. But alas, the senses are going astray and the intellect dark due to the miserable force of destiny. Plagued by several diseases, praptaihi, rogaihi, various diseases, one by one they come. They are all Yamadutas. Yama is very decent. He will not directly come. Generally, he will send one after the other, giving us letter. I am coming behind. Be prepared. If you want to escape, do some bhakti, some japa, something. So please be ready. Saying first, he says, you should get Bhagavan's protection. So he gives you BP. No? Bhagavan's protection. It is BP means what? Bhagavan's protection. So you take Bhagavan's protection, do Nama Japa. Nama Sankirtana, Bhagavad Bhakti. So BP. So he gives. One by one, reminding you, this disease, that disease, everything, one by one he sends, so that you will wake up. No. Rogaihi, then Viyogaihi. Somebody who was of your same age is passing away. He dies right before you, reminding you this is going to come. It is like the airport bus. You don't have space now, so that bus went. Next bus. But the same plane. Somebody died. No, Viyoga. Then what? Then somebody younger to you dies. All this sorrow you have to face. Praptaihi, rogaihi, viyogaihi, and plagued by all these things, affected by all these things. Anxiety, depression, stress, Vedana. Very difficult. One old man I met, he was 107 years old. And fully learned in the Vedas, Shastras. Even at that age, he was doing Sandhya Vandanam. Everything. But still he told me, Maha Papa Shakti. He said, why I am living so much? It is my sin, because I had to see the death of my son. I had to see the death of one of my grandson. All these sufferings I had to go through. So when you live for long, all these troubles come before you. Praptai rogaihi viyogaihi vyasana krishatanuhu. Still mithya mohabhilashaihi bhramati mama manaha. Dhurjadehe dhyana shunyam, with mere meaningless, useless imaginations, expectations. Even at that age, thinking that I will do this, I will do that. I want to see this, I want to have that. Mithya moha bhilashaihi bhramati mabamano dhurjadehe dhyana shunyam. My mind is not doing dhyanam, meditation on Shiva, Kshandavyo me aparadhaha Shiva 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 Bho Shri Mahadeva Shambho Hridyam Vedanta Vedyam Hridaya Sarasije Deeptam Udyat Prakasham Satyam Shantaswarupam Sakala Muni Manah Padma Shandaika Vedyam Jagrat Swapne Sushuptau Triguna Virahitam Shankaram Nasmarami Kshandavyo me aparadhaha Shiva 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 Bho Shri Mahadeva Shambho. So, now Sankaracharya has done a worship of Shiva, the Mahadeva Swami, Mahalinga Swami in Tiruvannamalai, Madhyarjuna Kshetra. And all the devotees there, they assembled to receive Acharya. They all were very learned in the Vedic Karmakanda portion, and they were all devoted to that Madhyarjuna Swami. They all heard the Advaita Jnanam, because now today, whether we follow a disciplined life or not, everybody gets this knowledge. You open the YouTube, Vedanta, Advaita, everybody knows these words. But those people there, they were all very strict, disciplined Vedic followers, Karmakanda followers. So very disciplined they were, and very devoted to Shiva, Shiva Bhakti. So Acharya supported their bhakti. Along with that, he said, the goal of the Vedic religion is Advaita Jnana. Many places, Vedas, they say Advaitam. Neha nanasti kinchana, ekameva advitiyam, neha nanasti kinchana. That one truth alone is real. That one without a second. Dvitiyad vai bhayam bhavati. From the second there is fear. From the other there is fear. So, thus Acharya spoke about Advaitam. So, the devotees there, they had a debate, dialogue with Acharya. And they said, see, we do not know about Advaitam, Vishishtadvaita, anything. For us, this Madhyarjuna Swami is real. So they said, we want this Madhyarjuna Shiva to proclaim that Advaita is Satyam. See, people will demand such things. For them, this faith or belief is more important than conviction through reasoning or anubhava. Common people go by that. For them, these outer things are more important. So, only then will we accept that Siddhanta. They are not going to realize or anything, but just to accept the Siddhanta. This strange decision, supported by their firm conviction and faith, astounded everyone. The next day, they met again in the precincts of Lord Mahalinga Swami. Acharya was led to the venue. Flower offerings were performed as per tradition to the Mahalinga Swami. Acharya entered the Shri Kshetra in the center, Shri Mandira. Generally they translate it as what? Sanctum Sanctorum. That is, I think it is a Jewish temple word. I think so. So, I am just using the same word like Shri Mandira, the center Shri Mandira. So, in a divine mood, Acharya entered there, taking bilva leaves from the plate held forward by a priest, offering them one by one. He chanted the Vedic mantra, Nidhanapataye namaha, Nidhanapatantikaya namaha, Urdhvaya namaha, Urdhvalingaya namaha. Like that, he worshipped Mahalinga Swami. And Acharya was so majestic. like a vast infinite ocean and firm like Mount Meru. Samudrasyeva gambhiryam stairyam meroriva sthitihi antashītalata cha indoho. In the heart, in the deep within, he was so cool like full moon. And hearing, as others were also hearing, Acharya said, Lord, I am following thy orders. Now, if you do not convince the truth of Advaita to the devotees here, I shall stop Digvijaya right here. Don't underestimate me, I am from Kerala. So, whatever we want, we will do strike. So, Sankaracharya himself started. When Sankaracharya started, another Shankara continued to in the another way. So Sankaracharya had this samara. What will they call it? Non-cooperation movement, something like that. This movement right in front of Ishvara. He said, I will not do work. And worship the Lord. Give upadesha to everyone, O Lord. Tvat padambujamachayami paramam tvam chintayam yanvaham tvamisham sharanam vrajami vachasa tvameva yache vibho viksham me disha chakshushim sakarunam divyai shiram prarthitam shambho lokaguru madiyya manasa saukyopadesham kuru. Hey Loka Guru, I am not Jagat Guru, you are Jagat Guru, Shiva. Saukhyopadesham Kuru, give the Saukhyopadesham, the Upadesham for everyone. That will give them Saukhyam, that will give them peace. With these words, Shankara Bhagavatpada sat by the side of Mahalinga Swami and remained absorbed in deep meditation. Moments ticked on, the deep Samadhi state of Acharya spread the fragrance of peace and stillness all around. The devotees who came in contact with that mystic silence were inwardly lit and became absorbed in an ecstatic mood. All those in the divine presence of that Jivan Mukta were deeply influenced and subdued by the mighty power of his mystic silence. Each pulsation of divine mood that arose within Acharya resonated in the heart space of everyone assembled there. It was as if the heart of that all-knowing one alone glowed within everyone there. The power of the supreme intelligence of the enlightened one was so real and palpable that whatever Acharya envisioned was seen by all. At last arose that sacred moment. The divine power struck like a flash of lightning, and everyone heard the primordial voice of him known only to the Vedas. The statement of the Vedas resonated, Ekameva Advitiyam, Nehananasti Kinchana. One alone is, there is no second. Here exists not any plurality. And again the voice boomed, Advaitam eva Satyam. Advaita alone is truth. Advaita is the truth. The melodious sound reverberated in the inner ears of everyone. Some of them, by virtue of their samskara, even gained the vision of the Lord, and initiation by sight were lost in a trance. Thus, for a few moments, there was a deluge of divine experience. The current of Shivanubhuti continued for some more time. Cries of Hara Hara echoed everywhere. Hara Hara Mahadeva. The incident created an enormous impact, entirely unheard of before. The impossible, something which was thought as impossible, had happened. People began to wonder about the real identity of the great sage who made the Lord manifest as a lingam and declare Advaita is truth. Was he Lord himself or Lord Subramanya? Even amidst such excitement, the great sage remained in majestic stillness with the glow of the fire of knowledge, like the great Lord Shiva himself, untouched by the play of the power and glory of Maya. Acharya sat still in deep meditation in the inner precincts like an idol of gold. The silence and peace transmitted by Acharya's Samadhi state was more potent and eloquent than the miraculous ethereal voice of the Lord. An unworldly aura of light radiated throughout the divine temple for some more time. Gradually it faded and all returned to their usual state. After remaining in a deeply intense samadhi for a long time, Acharya came out and sat in a silent spot in the temple courtyard and said to his disciples, Chidvilasa, the Lord of this temple is extremely powerful. This magnificent form has the ability to bestow knowledge on the devotees. Sometimes, a Jivan Mukta, although something will happen by his state, he will make the people believe that it is because of this deity, so that they will worship the deity. They will worship the deity. Once Narayana Guru was somewhere in Tamil Nadu, near Rameshwaram, in a village, and there was a Ganapati idol there, uncared for by the village people there. So all those village people came to him and told him, Swami, no rain for so many years here, and we are suffering. Then he asked them, it will rain. If it rains, will you every day worship this Ganapati? He asked. They said, yes, we will worship the Ganapati. If you can worship the Ganapati, it will rain. Village people, they will do it. So, it rained whole night, that night. From next day onwards, Ganapati got a lottery. The Ganapati worship started there. So, the Devata worship was resumed. So, like that. So, here, people became deeply devoted to Mahadeva Swami, and they also started worshipping Mahalinga Swami there. The group resumed their Digvijaya from Madhyarjuna. They started moving while Acharya was resting in solitude in a nearby village, because they are walking, and on the way, it's all villages. There was some cluster of trees. Under a tree, Bhagavad was resting. An elderly Vedic scholar who was an ardent seeker, he was a very scholarly person, came there, prostrated before Bhagavad. And they had a conversation. Acharya found that the person was very ripe. They had the conversation based on the Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, where Yajnavalkya is speaking about that Param Jyotihi, that supreme light. So here the scholar asked Acharya, you are the real embodiment of the Vedas. Several times I have heard your enlightening words that supreme peace can be had only by Atmajnana, knowledge of the self. Although I have heard and read about it, I have no direct experience. All these outer things won't rescue. I want direct experience. I am quite old and wish to see the supreme light before the body falls. Param Jyotihi Upasampadya. That Param Jyoti, that supreme Jyoti, I want to attain that. So Lord, please help me, because the Upanishad says Iha cheda vedid atha satyamasti nachediha vedin mahati vinashtihi. You have got an opportunity now. You are born in the human body. You are in the Bharata Desha. You have heard about Tiruvannamalai, Arunachala. You have come here. and started studying the scripture and doing Atma Vichara, etc., now be very, very serious, very, very careful. We do not know if we take another birth, what will happen. Palliyo Pambo Tadukki Vidunda. One devotee, disciple of Bhagavan, that Shastri, Venkatesha Shastri Mama, used to assist the priests in Bhagavan's Samadhi long before. He used to say, if you slip, fall and die, do not know whether you will be reborn as a lizard or snake. So be careful. So now you have got the chance. Don't waste your life. Iha cheda vedi tata satyam asti. You realize it here. Then you have got it. It is truth. Na iha vedi. If you fail to realize, if you fail at least to enter the stream, start the spiritual journey, mahati vinashti. It is great indeed is the loss. So the old man said, O Bhagavatpada, please instruct me on the knowledge of the self. Acharya felt very happy to see that old man, because old people come and say, my grandson has not got entry into the nursery school. My granddaughter has not got married. One old man came to me and told, is it possible that I can get married now? He is 75 years old. So old age also people don't grow wise. Body only, they only grow and become otherwise. So this, seeing this maturity in the person, ripeness in this person, Bhagavad said, you are blessed. There is a strange beauty for old age. When you right way, you come to old age. Kaumara acharet praknyaha dharman bhagavataniha. When even at a very small age, you start the bhakti, upasana, and practice all your life. In your old age, you look like a ripe fruit. Your tapas, see, for an ordinary person, for generally, at least to our modern society, youth is everything. So when youth is gone, life mostly becomes meaningless. They again try to act like youth. Young people. So when you grow old, you need not be physically looking like a young person. Inwardly you can be very fresh, spiritually abundantly rich, spiritually healthy, become a blessing to everyone. It is all possible. Not creating trouble to son, daughter, children, grandchildren, constantly. A radio without a switch to put off. An inspiring center which can inspire others. Many people say, more and more I grow old, I remember my old grandfather, how he lived, how he was austere, how he worshipped, had his Shiva Puja. how he did his daily meditation, how wise he was. These things they remember. They have seen that life when they were children, but they carry it inside them, and later on they recollect, and that becomes like a spiritual tablet. So Acharya here said, you are blessed. Self-realization is not a new experience. In fact, anubhuti, experience itself, is the nature of the self. Our very experience, our very existence is anubhava. It is anubhuti. Where do you experience the feeling of I am, aham? Existence is the very essence of the I, beingness, effulgence, and fulfillment are various names of I. Everything else other than the real essence of I vanishes in deep sleep. What is there in deep sleep? Wherein there is no world, mind or body. What remains there is pure beingness alone, aparilupta chaitanya. That very na drashtuhu drishtehe viparilopo vidyate avinashitvad, as the Shruti says, the seer's power of perception never fades. That is, the existence, effulgence, I, awareness are all same. It is not the I thought. It is mere existence which we have in deep sleep also. So that is the Swayam Prakasha Vastu. Your very nature is that. Tattvamasi. This advice Acharya gave to the old man. And that Vedic scholar said, Lord, your words are like the flow of nectar. But the mind does not enter into the chit or consciousness. It is not about understanding. Now here, while listening, my attention should turn inward and look at the aham. What is in me in the center shining forth as my very being. My whole focus should be turned towards that center. If that is possible, while listening, the attention is turned towards the listener. While knowing, the attention is turned towards the knower. Vijñātāramarekena vijaniyād. And there abides the drishti. Swarupe avasthanam, as Patanjali Yoga Sutra says. So, when Acharya said this, that scholar asked, what do you mean by chit? Acharya asked him, what do you mean by chit? He said, mind does not enter the chit. What do you mean by chit? He said, I do not know. But I more or less know intuitively that there is a changeless substratum which illumines everything and remains as the witness of everything. And that is the Atma. Acharya said, yes, good. One can know the self by contemplating on any one of these: effulgence, beingness and bliss. Mere existence is enough. You just, in Tamil they say, Shumairu. Be still. Just remain quiet. If you can do this simple meditation, it is enough. Just remain still. Or that which is shining within you in the center as I am. Or that sukha pratiti, sukhanubhava. You are talking about light. You see this world, you see all that is before you. From where do you get the light to see the sight? You are seeing the world, the Jagrad waking. How do you see? Very clear. It is from the light of sun, the sunlight. Kim jyoti hittava. It's like a question and answer, that one verse. He said, Bhanuman, it is the sun. Ahanime Bhanuman. In the daytime, it is the sunlight. Okay, that is right. Ratrau, what happens in the night? Pradipadikam, with lamp. Some lamp, some light. I have even moon is like a lamp. All right. How do you see the moonlight or lamp? With the eyes. It is like cornering, narrowing down the topic so that you can have full focus. With the eyes. Right. When you are awake, even if you close your eyes, don't you see your mental images very clearly? From Vishwa, you have to go to Taijasa. From the waking state, you enter the dream state where you see the dream. That is a very strange vision, Yata Suptaha. When the person is asleep, Kamam kamam purusho nirmimanaha. One after the other, desires come, visions come, very clear. And wake up, you say, I saw this dream, it was very clear. It was like the waking state. And with what light? Some light was there inside. It is the light of the intellect. Dhihi, Dhiyaha Adarshanekim. Even when the intellect merges while you are in deep sleep, what happens? Something was there. The I thought also merges. And after waking up, you say, I had very nice sleep. There was a strange well-beingness. And who recognized that well-beingness? Who was there? Were you there? No. You were not there? Yes. The I thought was not there, but I was there. The individual sense was not there, but I was there as existence, because it is my experience. I wake up and tell, I want to go back. Whenever you come back from that deep sleep, you want to go back. If it is terrible dream, you don't want to go back. But from a very nice sleep, you want to go back and lose this individuality there. The body, mind, world, everything. So what is there? That is existence, that is I am. Who knows this I? Not the I here. This I was not there. What existed there, it is self-knowing beingness. It is self-effulgent. I know I by myself. I by itself is luminosity, intelligence and beingness. In deep sleep, where it alone remains as itself, no one experiences sorrow. So your real nature is bliss. There, the I knows itself as the whole by its own effulgence. Beingness itself is effulgence. That light you are, Bhavan Paramagam Jyoti, Tattvamasi. You are the supreme light. Your very nature is that Swayam Prakasha. You are that supreme effulgence. Tadasmi Prabho, that Brahmana said, I am that. I am that. Saying this, he merged into that state for some time. This kind of episodes used to happen in front of Bhagavan very often. You can go through the talks, you can see many episodes like this, where Bhagavan turns their attention inward and the person beholds the truth and abides there. Exclaiming this ecstatically with instantaneous inner recognition, the elderly devotee closed his eyes and remained in Nirvikalpa Samadhi for a long time. When he opened his eyes and prostrated, Acharya inquired about his inner experience. He said, Lord, I am truly blessed. I feel fulfilled. There is nothing more for me to do. How do I express in words what I have experienced with him? The I who experiences is not different from experience. Without the difference of the experiencer and the experienced, the pulsation of I alone danced untouched by the body, mind, intellect and ego. Actually, existence as I will not dance or anything. It is the recognition of it. It is the pratyabhijna of it, that nididhyasana shakti. So gradually even that pulsation stopped and self-effulgent beingness alone remained. Satchidananda. How can I convey that fulfillment that was experienced in that state? The moment one leaves that state and gives reality to the body, mind and intellect, the contamination of limitation sets in. In the self there is wholeness without any limitation. Now I recognize that it is my real nature. I am not disturbed even when the body and mind function. I have understood that they are like the water in a mirage. You have made me behold the invaluable treasure that I have been ignoring since time immemorial. The light, devoid of the divisions of seer, seen, seeing, shines forth as the I am. The Chit shines undifferentiated from the I. Saying this, he again prostrated to Acharya. Acharya wrote down the instruction given to the Brahmin in a single verse, Ekaśloki, and handed it over to him for contemplation. Kim jyotistava bhanuman ahanime ratrau pradipadikam syadevam ravideepa darshana vidhau kim jyotirakyahite chakshuhu tasya nimilanadi samaye kim dhihi dhiyo adarshane kim tatrahamato bhavan paramakam jyotihi tadasmi prabhu. The face of the aged ascetic glowed with the brilliance of Brahmajnana. Acharya gave him the name Chit Prakasha and said, from now on, give up all external spiritual practices. Now your inner being has worn the mudra of pure consciousness in your heart. Hereafter, simply be in the I am, timelessly. Atma samstam manah kritva na kinchidapi chintayet. Fixing the mind in the self, do not allow even a single thought to sprout. Be in that uninterrupted beingness always. Provoke not doership or enjoyership. Endure the irresistible itch of the ego to rise again. Be quiet, be still, be aware. Endlessly remain in the timeless silence of the self. Om. The Brahmin took leave with a profound sense of fulfillment. As he left, Acharya exclaimed, such a sweet, ripe soul, and added, what dispassion! How quickly and easily has he attained self-realization. The goal of human life. This Brahmavidya is so simple. It is as simple as a berry in one's palm. If the grace of the Lord, the grace of the Guru and the grace of the Vedas function simultaneously, it is so simple. From Madhyarjuna, Acharya and group reached a village where the people were predominantly Shaktas. They had a conversation there. There Acharya gave them the Upadesha about Shakti, Tantra, etc. Then from there they reached Tiruchirappalli now. There Jambukeshwara, there the Tatanga Pratishtha is very famous. There they had Srirangam, Ranganatha Darshana, there also there is a stava. Ananda Rupe, Nijabodha Rupe, Brahmaswarupe, Shrutimurti Rupe, Shashanka Rupe, Ramaniya Rupe, Sriranga Rupe, Ramatam Manome, Satchittashayi Bhujagendra-shayi Nandankashayi Kamalankashayi Shirabdhishayi Vatapatrashayi Shrirangashayi Ramatam Manome. From there, they had, in that place, they had lot of conversations with Vaishnavas about Bhakti Siddhanta. Vaikanasa, Prachina Bhagavatas, Pancharatra, Karmahina Vaishnava, thus many sects were there. They are all, these names are all given in the Shankara Vijaya there. Some of them came to argue, some of them came to discuss. So various kind of people. You have to go through Atma Tirtham to read all that. If we discuss everything, we will never, all the Chaturmasya will go in this. So, from there, they went to the Jambukeshwara Sannidhi, and there Acharya had the worship of Jambukeshwara and Akhilandeshwari. Very interesting verses are there. Lutadhisha Gajendra Pujitapade Lunahite Shanvite Klinkarankita Bindu Pitha Nilaye Klinkara Rupedite Luta Tantu Jadikrite Shanilaye Lunahi Valli Dale Luta Kshmapati Muktidatri Mahile Vande Akhilandeshwari Jambu Mula Nidhe Janardananude Jambhari Sambhavite Jambudvipa Manotnya Kalpalatike Janhuatmaja Shekhare Janma Vyadhi Jarapahe Jalamaye Jambunada Lankrite Jampunatha Manohare Jananude Vande Akhilandeshwari. Jambukeshwara is the Jalalingam. There the lingam is water. Here it is fire. So first you go there, then you come here. Start from Kanchipuram. So in Jambukeshwara, they had lot of discussions on Vedanta Shastra, etc. Thus traveling, they entered Arunachala. Shuchiryayo Shonagiri Shutuf Purim Mahanalastamba Vabhuru Maheshwaraha Yudasyyasyam Vidu Vedasur Gam. It is there in the Shankarabhyuday Kavya. So this coming to Arunachala, Bhagavan also speaks about it. I think it is with G.V. Subramaya in that book. I am searching for this place. So it is in the Pravalagirinath Swami temple nearby, Pachayaman Koval, that area somewhere, Bhagavad Pada stayed. That is what they say. Even recently now, Edaturai Swami, some of their devotees, they came here. I was not here at that time. So they wanted to explore Sankaracharya's visit to Arunachala and about his stay there. And in the big temple there is some vigraha in some pillar, but there was nobody to, I think, guide them. It was very crowded also. So anyway, Bhagavan has spoken about that somewhere. So Acharya Pada came here from a distance, from the forest nearby. They had the vision of Arunachala. As Bhagavan had the vision of Arunachala from Tirukoilur, Atulyanatha Swami temple, from there Bhagavan had vision. Jnana Sambandha also had vision from there. Then Jnana Sambandha came there. he had no intention to come to Arunachala. From distance, they will see Tiruvannamalai and go, because it was forest, first of all. And there is a strange aitihya that if you come to Tiruvannamalai, it will not be possible to go anywhere else. So many of the Shaivite devotees from distance, they worshipped Arunachala and went away. So Jnanasambandha came to Atulyanatha temple. There you can see Jnanasambandha's, the spot where he stood. So he saw an old man there who has come there to gather flowers. So he asked him, where are you coming from? He said, I am come from Tiruvannamalai to take flowers to worship Arunachala. It is so near? He said, yes. So then take us there. Where he come? So they started following. He entered the forest. Jnanasambandha with all his retinue, they also followed. He had a palanquin with him, so many articles. He was like an Acharya moving about. They were all coming, and very small boy, Jnanasambandha. So this old man said, walk, come. Entered the forest, he went this way, this way, disappeared. And Shiva is, as coming as an old man, is always problem. Very old stuff. Pazhampurul, as Tiruvachakam says, Pazhampurul. It disappeared. They entered the forest going this way, that way, where to go? This Tiruvannamalai Malai, in the hill also you go up. Someday you will get lost. This way or that way. Many people have got lost. If you want to go, not to Skandashramam Virupaksha, some other place, if you want to go to the top of the hill alone, some kind of delusion happens, you go there, get lost. So like that, they got lost in the in-between spot in the forest. And some thieves, some robbers, they came and robbed everything, took away everything. Thieves, they took away everything. And Taskarana Ambataye Namaha. So as such, in the Tiruvannamalai uniform, they came here. Only with loin cloth or naked. This is Tiruvannamalai uniform. So all of them came to Tiruvannamalai as Arunachala is there. Arunachala also has the same dress. Nakkanagi nayandu ramanare pukku pichai pulambittirivate. Nakkanai nindrane Arunachala. Bhagavan says, you stand here in front of me completely naked. So like that they entered Tiruvannamalai. And they worshipped Jnanathiral. He calls Arunachala as Jnanathiral. Fire of Jnana. He worshipped Arunachala with verses. After that, everything was supplied. Whatever was taken away from him was all supplied in more abundance. Then he went away. But when Acharya comes here, they had nothing with them. So they all walked inside Tiruvannamalai. From there, the Acharya saw the most divine effulgent Arunagiri. The path towards Arunachala was covered with such dense forest that it looked like a green carpet. Thus they went inside, coming to Tiruvannamalai. Padmapada, who already knew the path, guided them. He belonged to Tamil Nadu. He already had a Tirtha Yatra before coming to Sankaracharya. So he guided them towards Tiruvannamalai, and thus they have reached Arunachala, Pattana Pravesham. So we will have it. So we will continue from here tomorrow. Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala, Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala.